kind enough to be on my channel. It'll be out later today, so make sure you're looking at that along with the watch along and the rest of it for the Champions League. But let's speak about the round of last 32 in the Europa League, people. Apologies as I, preview. I have to make sure I know where I actually started my preview. Benfica v Arsenal preview. I apologize, people. We're gonna get there. Trust me, we're gonna get there. But what somebody said before we start. One dislike, probs a Spuds fan. Ladies, stop watching Deluded when your husbands are in the room and stuff like that, because they start coming on my live streams and doing sour things like this. So please make sure you pattern that up, people. Please make sure you pattern that up. But let's speak about Benfica now. Now, our season could be on the line. It's the last 32. As you can see here, people, for me, serious business time of the season. I need the whole of our 25-man squad to stand up. Games are not getting any easier. Games are coming thick and fast. Multiple games. And when you look at our next 3 games, you've got Benfica twice, City in between them. You can't really make it up, sort of thing. So everyone needs to stand up. I believe it's our only meal ticket out the hood at this moment in time. Mathematically, can still get out of get into the Champions League via the league, but I'm not really convinced in our capabilities to get to the final, but that should be the target. That could be our only meal ticket out the hood. It's as simple as that. Tierney's been in full training, so I don't know if he's going to be there, but we run the risk of not only no Tierney, but no Partey. This is why, like I've been saying at the start, squad football is vital, people. Squad football is vital. As I said, the travel plans that we've got in relation to this don't make it any easier. And the games in general are all coming thick and fast. We're going against Mr. Jesus or Jesus. I can't pronounce his name. Who's, won the Copa Libertadores. You've seen them play 4-4-2. You've seen them play 4-1-2. You've seen them play a bunch of different formations just by looking at their recent games, people. You've seen them kind of tinker and change. So we're going against a team that, like us, aren't necessarily in the best of form. They lost in relation to not being in the Champions League. If you remember, they lost that one-legged tie. This could be their only meal ticket out of the hood, and they're 4th in the league. They're Sporting, Porto, and other people ahead of them. You get it? So this could be the only luck. And obviously, there's a lot of pressure on the manager. Like I always say, when you're backed up into a corner as a man or as an individual, a group of players, you either stand up to be counted or get scared. So I'm scared of that fight back. A lot of people are saying Arsenal will walk all over them. I won't feel it. I don't feel that's the case. Obviously, we know the players they've got, man. I can't say my man's name, but Waldschmidt, I can't say his name in it, but the German 24-year-old, he is quite good in front of goal. He reminds me a tiny bit of Muller. Not that he's anything like it. Gilmando, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think he's of the level people say. He's better going forward than he is defensively, but he's someone to be wary of. Pedrino, player we've been linked with. They've got Everton as well, who could be a danger. They've got former Spurs lads in Adel Tarat and Vertonghen. They've got Otamendi, and again, they play a high line, people. They play a high line. They've got slow centre halves. You can already see where the avenue to exploit that could be with Aubameyang or something along those lines, people. They've got Seferovic, who, if anything more than that, is a battering post. And they've also got the talented Darwin Núñez, as you know. Pizzi is a decent player. Rafael Silva needs to improve his final third production, but they've got decent players. And if I haven't said it one more time, Darwin Núñez. So they're not easy to play. Their last 5 games, they've been quite poor. They sit 4th. They're on 38 points. These are all the teams ahead of them. They drew against... I wish which one of you lot's Portuguese? Because I can't say that, people. Apologies. But they drew with this team. They beat Astori. They drew with 0-0 with Vitória. They held an L a few weeks ago to Sport in Lisbon. So their form hasn't genuinely been that good. They've been having mixed results. Some wins, some draws, some losses. They are, apart from having good players, it appears that in the final third, they're not as prolific defensively. They're not shutting up shop. There's a whole bunch of rumblings off the field. They've been dealt a tough hand with Corona as well, people. We've got to remember that. We've beat a couple of Portuguese teams. We're actually yet to beat Benfica, people. And if you look at it statistically, they've taken 11 points from a possible 24 in their last League 8 games, people. They were also beaten against Porto and they lost to Braga in cup competition. So this gives you every bit of confidence, but this is a fight back. They looks like you're not winning the league. It looks like, you're not qualified. You might not even finish in a respectable place by Benfica standards. This could be the only thing. And also, forgive me if I'm wrong, has their manager, I swear their manager's gone to a Europa League final as well. So he's got the pedigree. I could be wrong in that regards, people. Skipping ahead of the lineup quickly, just so you can see their recent fixtures here. As you can see, let me zoom in if you can't. I know some of you wear glasses. Apologies. You know, you can see it makes for mixed reading. You know, they come into the game winning 3-1 in the first leg of the semi-finals. Then they won 2-0 before that. They drew to Vitoria. So they've been a bit positive in recent weeks. You know what? Only really 1-L in the last 5. But generally, their form hasn't been good enough. As I said, COVID has ruined them. But it's a madness where they've been this season, really and truly. This is all irrelevant because these are actually questions I asked Adrian of Rabona TV about Benfica, which he answered as well. So make sure you're checking out that video when it lands. It will land today, people. In relation to the lineup, ignoring the timestamps, difficult one, not in terms of Leno. Leno picks himself in goal, people, as you lot know. I think realistically, Bellerin's going to play and Cedric is going to be on the left-hand side. And I know Saka should be playing on the right. But for me, I just feel move Cedric inside. I feel, you know, David Luiz is playing against his former team. They play a high line. You know, as much as David Luiz is a fire hazard, if they play a high line, I need people who can pass the ball. He can do that. And for all Luiz's things, our season potentially could be on the line. I need strong characters. So I'm going to go with the 2 Portuguese speakers, the more experienced David Luiz and Gabriel. Listen, I want to play Saka there. I have no problems with Cedric starting at left back to a degree. And Bellerin, it is what it is. But for me personally, I'd rather Saka just do... I know Saka's our right wing and we know he does the business. But I'd rather, if Tierney isn't fit, and Tierney did take part in full training, obviously if Tierney's fit, Tierney plays for me. But same way, people, I'd rather Saka do a job for me still. I'm not going to sit here and cap. I'd rather Saka just do me a job if it was going to have to be the Cedrics and people like that. And that's with a heavy heart because I want Cedric to play in midfield. I mean, I want Saka to play in midfield, sort of thing, people. So yeah, this would be my team. I go with Leno, I go with Cedric, I go with Gabriel. Well, Leno in goal, obviously. Cedric and Saka at fullback. David Luiz and Gabriel at centre half. Midfield, I've gone with Dani Ceballos, Xhaka, and I'd keep Odegaard in. I wish I could pick 12 players. I think Smith Rowe deserves to play, but I think, you know, Pepe didn't deserve to be dropped. I think he's fresh now. I think he's raring to go. For some reason, I just want to get Lacazette back into the team, people, at the time of making this. But saying this, I'm not going to lie, people. I think I've switched up what I want to see now, really and truly. I'm not going to lie with you, people. I think I've switched it up. I think I'm going with that, you know. I think I'm going with that. Personally, that would be my lineup. So Leno in goal, Cedric right back, centre half of David Luiz and Gabriel, Saka doing a job if Tierney's not fit at left back, Xhaka and Ceballos in midfield, Odegaard, this is what we brought you in for. Show me the Madrid player that you're on. Pepe, you've had a rest. Go and show Arteta why he was wrong to drop you. Lacazette was in the team, but Aubameyang's fresh off getting a hat-trick. He's our captain. We need players to stand up to be counted. I don't think you can drop Smith Rowe. Really and truly, and I'll always fight for Smith Rowe to be in the team. Now, I wouldn't mind pulling Lacazette over there, Aubameyang on the flanks, linking up with Saka. I wouldn't actually mind Martinelli starting either, but that would probably be my lineup. I must admit, it's changed off the top of my head since we've started, people. So it is what it is in that regards. That's my lineup for the Benfica game, people. That's how I feel. But ultimately, it's a tough game, innit? I'll play the strongest lineup we could. Same way I'll try and play the strongest lineup against City. The best thing we could do to help ourselves would be trying to just any poor form that Benfica allegedly on, any inconsistencies, any inability to keep clean sheets, put the game to bed in the first leg, because that's what we didn't do against Olympiacos, and that's where we were in trouble. That's where I want our players to learn from, actually. That's actually where I want our manager to learn from, because I think over those 2 legs, we struggled in that regards, people. So that's where we need to learn. I want to see strong teams. I want to see everyone to stand up to be counted. We're in a difficult month now, you know. There's no hiders anymore. People can't hide. That's all I've got to say in relation to our preview, people, really and truly. Let me not lie to you lot.